Good morning, everyone. This is Uzma Hashmi, English educator at Syed Hamid Senior Secondary School, Boys, AMU. So, the topic that we are going to discuss today is a photograph composed by Shirley Tolson. This is a poem that has been given in class 11 English book, Hornbill. Let's have some information about the poet. Shirley Tolson was a British poet, writer, and journalist. Her poems often deal with memories, loss, and human emotions. A photograph reflects on the passage of time and the pain of losing loved ones. Let's have a look on the poem, A Photograph by Shirley Tolson. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went peddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands. And she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. A sweet face, my mother's. That was before I was born. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. Some 20-30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. See, Betty and Dolly, she would say, and look how they dressed us for the beach. The sea holiday was her past. Mine is her laughter. Both ray with the labored ease of loss. Now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. And of this circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. It's silence, silences. So this was such a beautiful poem. Now let's move on towards the explanation, stanza by stanza. Stanza number 1. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went peddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. So basically, the poet is looking towards a snapshot, towards a photograph that has been pasted on a cardboard, and that photograph is of her mother's. Right? What is there in the photograph? She is explaining very clearly. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went peddling. What is the meaning of peddling? Peddling means walking through the shallow water on the beach in bare feet. Okay, so her mother was there along with her two girl cousins, and three of these girls, they were paddling, they were enjoying the time on the beach, each one holding one of my mother's hands. And every girl, both of them, they were just holding poet's mother's hand, and she, the big girl is here, mother, poet's mother. So, the big girl, some 12 years or so. It has been mentioned here that what was the age of the mother when the photograph was taken. She is just mentioned here that her mother was just of 12 years old, right? So, what she is just saying in second stanza, let's have a look. All three stood still to smile through their hair. These three of the girls, they were standing still. without moving here and there, and a smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. Uncle with the camera. Who is holding camera? Uncle is holding camera, and he took that photograph. Okay, a sweet face, my mother's. Poet is saying that what a lovely and sweet face my mother was having. That was before I was born. Obviously, her mother herself was just a 12 years of old girl, right? So she's just mentioning here that a sweet face my mother's, that was before I was born, and the sea which appears to have changed less. Poet is indicating towards the permanence of the nature. She is just saying that the sea still appears the same as it was appearing earlier in the time, right? To have changed less, wash their terribly transient feet, terribly, extremely, and transient, changeable. That is a matter of change, right? So basically, the poet is referring here by mentioning this phrase, terribly transient feet. It shows that human beings are not permanent. Somehow nature is less changeable as compared to the human being, right? So she is just mentioning here that and the sea which appears to have changed less, wash their terribly transient feet. This was the second stanza. Now move on towards the third stanza. What third stanza is telling us? Some 20-30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. See Betty and Dolly, she would say. Who are Betty and Dolly? Betty and Dolly are the cousins of poet's mother. Okay, so she is just saying here that after some 20-30 years, when she was looking towards that snapshot, that photograph, so she was just saying that Betty and Dolly, she would say, and look how they dressed us for the beach. She was saying, she was actually telling this to her daughter, that is the poet, that see how they dressed us for the beach. We were just going to have a holiday, so just look into the photograph that how beautifully we were dressed. The sea holiday was her past. Her past? Whose past? It is the past of her mother's. Whose past? It was the past of her mother, and mine is her laughter. Mine, poets. Her laughter, mother's laughter. What does it mean? It means that now mother is no more. She has died. That's why poet is saying here that the sea holiday which was captured in that photograph, it was my mother's past. But the laughter of my mother is my past now, as she is not with us right now. Both rave with the labored ease of loss. Both means mother and the poet. Both the people have to accept that whatever loss they have been suffering, they have to accept the reality, right? Mother was just thinking about her past when she was enjoying the holiday with her cousins. So it was her loss that her childhood was passed. And what was the loss of the poet? The loss of the poet is that her mother is no more. She is not with her right now. So basically, both Ray with the labored ease of loss, both these people have to accept the reality of their life. They cannot do anything else in this except to accept it. Now move on towards the final stanza, and in this final stanza we can see that what kind of a pain poet is feeling right now. Now she has been dead nearly as many years. Now she has been dead nearly as many years. How many years? Before her mother died. It was mentioned in the very first stanza, the age of the mother, like 12 or 13 years of age she was. So she is just saying that now she has been dead nearly as many years. That means before 12 or 30 years she has been died. As that girl lived, and of this circumstance there is nothing to say at all. It's silence, silences. And she is just saying that I don't have any other word to express my grief, to express my sorrow. She is really suffering right now that she cannot, tell this to anyone. Obviously, once we are losing our loved ones, so this reality is really hard to accept, and the poet is also suffering with the loss that she has lost her mother, and she is expressing this through the poem, especially in this last stanza of the poem, that she is just saying that there is nothing to say at all. I don't have anything to say. What I am feeling right now, it's silence, silences. Now whose silence? Silence of mother. Mother is not around her. So her silence silences the emotions, the words of poet as well. This was the explanation of the poem. I hope that it is clear to everyone. Let's move on towards the literary devices that have been used in this poem. The very first literary device that has been used here is alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of initial consonant sound. As it has been mentioned here in the example, stood still to smile. So this is the consonant sound. This is the consonant sound, continuously repeated. Stood still to smile. So alliteration is there. Now come to the second one, that is transferred epithet. What is transferred epithet? Transferred epithet is that you are giving the example of something else and you are having another meaning of it, right? For example, terribly transient feat. So here the poet is not talking about the feat of any person. She is talking about the changeable nature of human being. She is just indicating here that humans are not permanent, right? So terribly transient. Terribly means extremely, and transient means changeable. Feat, obviously, of any human being, and so basically the meaning is there that terribly transient feat, meaning is here that human beings are not permanent, right? Now come to the next one, that is personification. What is personification? Personification is when we give some human quality or human attribute to any, any object or animal or any abstract idea. So when we give the human attribute to any of these, it becomes personification. Now, silence. Silence is an abstract idea, and silence has been given the attribute of human being. So here, personification is being used. It's silence silences. Silence is silencing someone, right? So basically, silence is being given some human attribute here. Now the last one is contrast. Sea versus human life. This is the contrast that has been mentioned in the poem. What sea is indicating? It is indicating the permanence of the nature, and what human life or the this is terribly transient fate. The example that has been given here in transferred epithet, the same example can be taken here. Human life. She is just talking here about the human life that is temporary. Human life is not permanent, while the nature is permanent one. So this was literary devices that were being used. Now let's have some idea about the core of the poem, right? The poem highlights how time changes everything. Human life is temporary, but memories preserved in photographs. Memories preserved in photographs help us relive the past. The poet expresses the pain of losing her mother. The poet is expressing the pain of losing her mother while reflecting on the beauty of cherished memory. Though she does not have her mother with her right now, but she had so many memories, good memories of her mother, and that photograph was one of them that she is looking at right now and describing her feeling through this poem. What can we say in the conclusion? That a photograph it is a touching poem about memories. It is a touching poem about memories, time, and loss. It shows how photographs preserve precious memories. It shows how photographs preserves precious memories and connect us to loved ones even after they are gone. Even they are not with us, but still we can connect ourselves with them. This was the chapter that we discussed today. This is all for today. Thank you so much, everyone.